The PlayStation 5 is home to a ton of great open world games, but what about the games that aren't out yet? If you're a fan of open world games and you have a PS5, you have a lot of great options coming out in the near future, and in this video, we're going to focus on the best looking ones. What is up, everybody? Chaos here. These are the 15 open world games coming to the PlayStation 5 that I'm super excited for. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and first up is Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Now, Dragon Age was one of the franchises that actually put BioWare on the map, and given how much of a hole the studio has dug themselves in recently, they need a winner. They need this to be a winner. This is going to be a follow-up to Dragon Age Inquisition, and has been in development for a while. The game started production in 2015, has drastically changed direction multiple times, started as a small narrative-focused game before being turned into this huge live service game, and then ultimately being shifted back into a single-player offline format like the rest of the franchise. The combat is reportedly real-time and inspired by God of War, so it will be a pretty drastic departure from the franchise's roots. But honestly, I think that might be what Dragon Age needs right now. Hopefully Dreadwolf fans are better than Anthem and Mass Effect and Andromeda, because BioWare, they need a break. At number 14, the untitled Ubisoft Star Wars game, The Mystery. Ubisoft Star Wars game got a bit of a news earlier this year, and it sounds pretty good. It does. The game is going to be huge, massive, featuring tons of planets, all with their own open world maps for you to explore throughout the single-player adventure. The story and the characters, they're not confirmed yet, but I'm expecting to learn more about the project later this year, perhaps at E3 or one of the surrounding conferences. Ubisoft gets mixed reviews from the gaming community, but if anyone can do a massive-scale Star Wars game, if they do it right, I really feel like it's them. At number 13, Far Cry 7. Now, it hasn't been formally announced, but a number of industry insiders have confirmed it's in the works, and given how much of a hole Ubisoft has been in the last few years, they're probably ready. Far Cry 6 was a solid game, but it was held back. It needed to be up and running on the Xbox One, the PS4, but Far Cry 7, it's being built from the ground up for current-gen gaming hardware. No matter what setting the team takes, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to see what a next-gen Far Cry game looks like. I'm guessing we'll probably get a formal announcement later this year. The Witcher Remake. The game that kicked off one of the most acclaimed RPG franchises of all time is finally being brought to the modern era. The original Witcher launched on PC in 2007. It was a fantastic experience, but it was not easy to get into. The gameplay was notoriously complicated and complex, but last year, CD Projekt Red confirmed they are doing a top-to-bottom remake of The Witcher on Unreal Engine 5. Now, development is being handled by a studio called Fool's Theory, which is a really cool name, with total creative supervision from the original developers, and while the console versions aren't confirmed, I'm 99% certain that Xbox and PlayStation players will get to experience The Witcher 1 for the first time with this remake. And speaking of The Witcher 4. CD Projekt Red confirmed last year they are indeed expanding the Witcher universe, why not, with a brand new trilogy of open-world RPGs following a brand new story and built on the Unreal Engine 5. Now, the official title and story haven't been confirmed yet, but development on the next entry in the Witcher saga is underway. And after the insane critical reception to Witcher 3, expectations are high. Now, I have my doubts as to whether or not CD Projekt Red is actually up to the task after the disaster that was Cyberpunk 2077, but I do have some faith in them. I have faith they can pull it together and bring us another amazing fantasy RPG. I hope so for all the Witcher fans out there. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It's not 100% confirmed just yet that Frontiers of Pandora is actually going to be an open-world game, but given the fact that it's being developed by Massive Entertainment and published by Ubisoft, I think it's a fair guess or assumption that it will be open-world. Now, it will be the first AAA video game based on the Avatar universe since the original movie tie-in game from 2009. And with how much money is being poured into the project, it better be amazing. Ubisoft pushed the game back a few months ago, but it should be out by the end of 2024, so keep your eyes peeled for news on this one. And Ubisoft has a lot on their plate. Skull and Bones, open world pirate game, developed once again at Ubisoft Singapore for over a decade now, and while it did start off as an expansion for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it is now its own project, kind of a spiritual successor. You customize the pirate ship, set out on the Indian Ocean, you engage in enemy ships, loot them, upgrade your vessels, you guys know how it works, it's pirates. The game has been delayed countless times, recently pushed back to the ever-vague release window of 2023-2024, but if it's going to be good, I'm okay with the wait. It is a huge, ambitious project for Ubisoft. So, once again, Ubisoft has a ton on their plate. At number 8, Diablo 4. It's been over a decade, 10 years since the last Diablo game, and naturally expectations, they're high after Diablo 3 was such a big success. The acclaimed action RPG is making a transition to the open world gameplay format. The story, they said, is going to be scaled down a bit from the last entry. They want to create a more grounded experience and tone. Now, Blizzard has also described adjustments being made to the classic system, new attributes that will add a ton of depth to the classic Diablo formula. Blizzard really needs a win. They do. So hopefully Diablo 4 is worth the wait, and it lives up to the insanely high standards of this iconic series. It is set to launch on June 6th on PC and consoles. Here's one we haven't heard a lot about. The Division Heartland. I mean, call me crazy. I do. Don't call me crazy. Call me crazy. I have a soft spot for The Division. It's an IP that's been bashed left and right, up and down, back and forth. People calling it a generic looter shooter, but there's always been something about it that's kind of kept me interested more than other open world shooters. Division Heartland is an upcoming free-to-play spin-off that will reportedly feature a streamlined gameplay model set in rural America as opposed to a major city, which I'm excited about. 2 main game modes, one being a massive PvPvE experience, and the other being an extraction-based mode where you get more gear. Now, there's no solid release date just yet, but Ubisoft is insistent the game will come out by the end of 2023. So if you're a fan of looter shooters, be on the lookout for The Division Heartland. And I'm really now just realizing how much Ubisoft has on their plate. It's like the 5th time I've said that. But as we go through this list, it's a lot. At number 6, Choo Choo Charles. This game launched on PC in late 2022, quickly got the attention of a lot of people and creators. The insane premise, and it's addicting. It is. Open world survival horror game. You navigate an island in a train, hunt to upgrade your train and get supplies, all while trying to outrun and fend off a giant train monster with spider legs and a creepy smile that continues to chase you. It sounds ridiculous because it is, but it's also absolutely terrifying, and there is a console port coming out later this year. If you're a fan of unconventional horror games or you just want to experience the fear of being hunted by a giant spider train, here you go. At number 5, The Crew Motor Fest. The Crew is one of the more underrated racing franchises out there, if you ask me, and it's known for its insanely huge open-world maps. The Crew 1 and 2, they were solid, and the upcoming Crew Motor Fest is going to be a scaled-down and streamlined version of the formula set on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. It's being developed by Ubisoft Ivory Tower and should be out by the end of the year. So if you're into open-world racing games, but you're tired of Forza Horizon, try The Crew, and this should have just been a Ubisoft list. At number 4, Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, Rockstar Games are seemingly planning on making 2024 their year, and with recent leaks suggesting the company is currently targeting a winter 2024 release window that the higher-ups at the company are no longer willing to wait anymore, GTA 6 will be the first entry in the series in over a decade. And the longer we wait, the more hype people get. Now, last year there was a giant leak that revealed a lot of information about it, the setting, the gameplay additions, insane level to detail in the new map. It's going to be one of the most advanced and expansive open-world games ever made. Since GTA 5 sold over 100 million copies, I'm expecting the sequel to just go absolutely nuts. I think we're going to get a teaser sometime this summer. At number 3, Death Stranding 2. Now, Death Stranding was one of the weirdest games ever. The game got mixed reviews. It looked incredible, had a super unique gameplay loop, but on the other hand, some people were turned off because the bizarre story and the weird nature of the gameplay, it was weird. It was hard to stay with. But as time went on, more and more people fell in love with Death Stranding. Not too long ago, an official sequel was announced for the PS5. Now, it's unclear where the story is going to go next, but after the first game, let's be real. Anything is possible with this. Many of the actors from the first game are confirmed to be returning for the sequel, and obviously the famed director Hideo Kojima will be the head of the project, so that's a big deal. We'll probably learn more about this at the next Sony showcase. At number 2 today, Final Fantasy 16. It's always a big deal when a new numbered Final Fantasy game comes out, and FF16 is the first one in 7 years. The MMO Final Fantasy 14 has been a raging success for the last few years, but it's time Square Enix keeps the main story moving, and this one is set to release exclusively on the PS5 in a few months. Final Fantasy 16 is going to feature an absolutely gigantic world, multiple ways to play, including a new Game Plus mode to encourage multiple playthroughs. Final Fantasy 15 was a great addition to the franchise. With how long the follow-up has been in the works, come on Square Enix, get it out. And finally, Spider-Man 2. Insomniac Spider-Man was one of the biggest games of 2018. Only got bigger with time. More and more people have fallen in love with the game, especially after the remastered version dropped on the PS5 and PC. Long-awaited sequel, dropping later this year. Have you playing as both Peter and Miles in showdowns with characters like Venom, Kraven the Hunter, possibly Green Goblin. We should be getting new gameplay and story information very soon, and this is my most anticipated open world game right now, at least when it comes to the PlayStation. If you're a PS5 owner, make sure you have $70 set aside for Spider-Man 2 later this year, because Insomniac, they've never let us down. They haven't, that I can remember. With how much time they've taken on Spider-Man 2, it's going to be amazing. There you have it. Upcoming PlayStation 5 open world games that you need to be on the lookout for. I'll see you guys soon.